Welcome back to Garage 512, everybody. And let me tell you, I'm getting a little excited. It is Tuesday, November 18th. LMR started working on my car yesterday. They sent me an email last week, or text actually, and said, hey, we're going to start working on your car on Monday. We delayed a week because they counseled me on some things, and I'm very glad they did. Things that I did not know to ask. Certainly things the last car didn't have. We'll talk about that. But just want to give you an update on the car and then what I'm doing to get ready for the Circuit of the Americas track event on December 20th. That's my next one. It's the last one for the year. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so about the build. So the last stroker was built by ERL, and that was just the bottom end because I was still using stock heads. So there was the same casting, same LS7 castings fixed, okay? But still, just like this new one, the one that blew up, fixed heads, okay? But unlike, the new one, the new car, which will have race heads, CID race heads on them, quite a bit more expensive, obviously. They're race heads. They flow a lot more CFM than the stock castings from the LS7. Um, but they weren't cheap. They were like $5,000 for those heads. But again, I took LME's recommendation on the entire build. So they spec'd out the cam, did all the clearances for the kind of power I wanted to make. I told them this was going to be used, mostly on the street and at the track, like a real track, not necessarily like a quarter mile, but a racetrack like a COTA. So they built me a motor for that use case. But the last car, it had stock heads. It only made, 615 to the tires. That's the difference in those heads. I mean, those race heads make a lot of power, but if you gotta put price to performance, I don't know. I only did it because I'm built a wholly long block, but I mean, the last car, I mean, the biggest difference between a stroker and a regular, non-stroker motor is the torque, and I'm a torque guy. I want to be able to rev high enough so that when I shift, I'm back in my torque band, right? I'm back in my power band. That's why I chose a stroker, which is why I decided just to go all out and buy the CID heads. But they were $5,000, and that maybe picks me up, 50, 60 horsepower to the tires. I mean, that's a lot, but it's also a lot of money. So take that into consideration. But the last stroker motor, the 454 that I had in the last car, stock heads, um, and it just had the regular fuel system that came with the car. Now, Pat G, when that was the guy that I was going to use to tow the to tune the car, suggested four innovations because it was going to be easier to work with in terms of tuning, and he thought I really needed that extra fuel system, the dual pump fuel system. Okay, because of this particular build. The heads and cam car, you don't need that. My last stroker, because it was stock heads, stock ported heads, didn't need that. So I didn't have a fuel system. Fuel system by four, it's like $1,600, $1,700. The install on it's not cheap. It's like, I mean, they had to do a lot. I mean, they showed me the billable hours for it. It's like, $5,000 worth of labor to do that. But again, this is my use case. This is what is going to make me happy, and so I'm spending the money to do so because I'm already in like 4 pennies, so I'm in 4 pound. But LMR counseled me on that and said, hey, you really need a fuel system for this because that car, and he basically implied, look, I'm not putting this in there unless you get this fuel system because he wants us both to be happy, right? And that's what I want. I don't want to, feel like everything is good and then shit blows up again, So he suggested, the fuel system, which I had already bought, Pat G suggested, so I bought it. Um, but he also explained why I need it. So I was like, okay, cool. So there's that. The other thing is the clutch that was in this car when I bought it is a dual disc, which would have been fine for a heads and cam car. But LMR said, because I'm going to be basically making probably anywhere from 650 to 660 at the tires, that dual disc by Monster is only rated up to like 700 wheel horsepower. So if that's the max and I'm already here, he didn't feel comfortable letting me stay with that dual disc. We ordered a triple disc by Monster. Yeah, I wouldn't really expect to spend $3,600 extra dollars, but here I am. There I was. So we got the triple disc clutch. And those were some of the parts that they suggested ordering. So we wanted to wait till all that stuff was in. But because I'm, you know, a little phobic, a little scared, a little freaked out about blowing up another motor. I wanted to be able to monitor all the things. I mean, the stock unit will allow you to monitor, oil temperature, coolant temperature, oil pressure, all of the things. But I wanted to go an extra step, above because I got 30 grand in this motor just in it. So I want to be able to monitor the air fuel ratio. So I got a wideband gauge. And I also wanted to monitor the fuel pressure. Need another gauge for that. So we ordered a whole new A pillar with two circles cut out for the two gauges, the wideband and for the fuel pressure sensor. So, and I did YouTube shorts on those, so you can see those. I'll throw up some pictures of, but you know, um, the A pillar looks pretty cool. It'll be black. It'll all blend in pretty nicely, and it'll be all like right in my face. So we got those guys, but all the parts are in, so that's why they started on it yesterday. So he sent me a text saying, "Hey, we're going to start on Monday." That was yesterday. They will not be done for Thanksgiving. They're going to take time off, see their families, like I am. I'll be in Houston. If they're open when I go to Houston, I'll stop by and say hi. But yeah, so car will not be ready next week. Not expected to be. Don't plan. Wasn't never planning for that, right? They told me first week of December. So if I get the car back, first week of December, that gives me enough butt time to get used to the car and all the things so that I'm prepared to go into my first beginner race event at COTA on December 20th. So looking forward to that. So basically, that's what's going on with the car. Let's take a look at what I'm doing to get ready for this event on the 20th. So I know that there's going to be a safety test and, they do the tech checkup and all that stuff. So I wanted to make sure that I was good for, the track passing safety inspections. So they're going to look and make sure seatbelts work, but they're also going to make sure that I have a Snell helmet. Now we'll get to the Snell helmet later, but and you don't need a race suit. I just decided to go ahead and get this to get it all at one time, just because maybe I'll turn out to be good and get to live my lifelong dream of being a race car driver, part time. So some of my friends are running in the SCCA events and they're quite good, and they've been doing this for years. So I'm just a little beginner. So I wanted something cheap. So I went to Amazon and I looked at this and I'm like, this is cool. We'll do, it's mostly black with white accents. Pay attention to the sizing chart. I think this is made for non-Americans. I am not a 4XL, but I am 6'4". So I got the largest one possible. But check out these the recommendations on this and measure yourself so that you know what size to get. I got it on Amazon. Like I said, most of the things I get are on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description, and it's my Amazon affiliate link. So full disclosure, it's the same price whether you go use my link or you go up to Amazon and find it. I just get a little bit of kickback on it. So that's all, full disclosure. But that's where I found my race suit, and you can see they come in a bunch of different colors. So I mean, that would probably look good on for a McLaren person. Both of those actually. Um, but blue, red, and the white. So I went with that one. I also went with pair of race shoes. I did a couple shorts. I did a short for just the shoes, and I did a short with the shoes and the race suit in it. So that's out there, but that's what I got in preparation. The shoes are cool. They're long, flat. It's good for shifting. And also got a pair of Sparko gloves. I'm not big on name brand. The other knockoff brands, they laced all the way up, wrapped further up the wrist. But they were ugly, and I just wanted to keep it simple, black and white, so I got these. They just happen to be Sparko. So, but they're only like 42 bucks or so. So, all the Amazon stuff will be in the links will be in the description. They're my affiliate links. So I got these. These were not expensive. I was surprised. The full ones are. Yeah, I think they were a couple $100, but like I said, I'm just a little beginner. So we're not spending crazy money on this stuff. Got enough money in this car already. So, but I did get a head sock for the race helmet. Suspect that's needed anyway. But I know I have to have the helmet. So this was only 32 bucks. So I got that. And then on the helmet, I looked for a couple of weeks on this. I got this getting bombarded with just too many options, and you can't give a guy too many options because, if you're like me, it's analysis paralysis. And I found this one on Fast Racer's site. I was like, oh, that looks cool. Plus, the red Z. The red Z is what got me, honestly, right? So, but ZAMP, and you can see, I mean, it's got holes. It's ventilated. You know, you can see the different angles. And this thing is clear. The visor is clear. I do plan on getting nothing like this, but I just want, because I'm going to be driving in the daytime, I want like a tinted one. So I'm going to get a tinted version of this. It's like 30 bucks or whatever. But you can see it looks cool. It's pretty simple. I even got I think that's ventilation in the head. So you can get this in this light gray or black. This, while it does look white, it is actually just a really, really light gray. Most helmets are white or black, and I wanted something that went with the race suit, so this is what I went with. But um, I have a link to Fast Racer, and I'll tag them in the description as well. They are offering for the first 20 people to place an order that use the garage code, sorry, the promotion code Garage 512. You'll get 5% off your purchase. So take advantage of that. That was really nice. I didn't ask for that until after I ordered my helmet, because this is what I wanted, and I found it on my own. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I mean, because he was really cool. I mean, he gave me his personal cell phone number, and we talked. And I sent him pictures, and he was like, okay, this, and we ended up finding a glitch on the website actually, but he was just so friendly and helpful. I probably stayed on the phone with him for about 30 minutes asking questions. And I was like, after I bought it, I was like, my subscribers would probably like this. It gives you another option. So if you like, use the go out to their site, find what you like, use Garage 512 at the checkout, all one word, and it'll give you 5% off for the first 20 people that use that code. So I've got it posted on Instagram, on TikTok too. But I'm a small channel, so I doubt that all 20 of those pieces, those promo codes have been used. But check that out. I think you'll like it. I love mine. I got mine last weekend. So anyway, that's all the stuff for the track stuff that I've gotten prepared for. But um, so yeah, I'm in the home stretch, I'll be in Houston next week for Thanksgiving. If LMR is open when I'm there, I'll wave it, go in and say hey, and speak to the car. But I'm going to be in Houston anyway, so they will not be done next week. They got people off time to see their families, just like you and I. So they told me probably the first week of December. So if it's the first week of December, I got plenty of time. Get it back on the 5th. The race event at COTA is on the 20th, so I got 15 days to get some butt time in the car. Get used to this new clutch. I mean, remember, I only got 6 hours with this car before the damn engine blew up. When I got this, I got it in May. So yeah, I've only got 6 hours in this freaking car, and now like everything is new. So yeah, I need some time to get used to that. But at least I've got the basics in. I've got good a Snell SA 2025 helmet, which is great. That Snell rating is good for 10 years, and I could have bought a slightly cheaper one if I bought an SA 2020. It'd be good to 2030, but I decided, hey, let me just find a 2025, and I found this really cool one. So that's what I went with. But yeah, I'm in the home stretch. I'll be in Houston for Thanksgiving. Got a lot to be thankful for, not the least of which is my health. PSAs are still on the down. So, prostate cancer free. It's one of my motivations for doing this channel. It's all car talk until like the end, right? Where I'm just want to make sure as guys, we have a prostate and we're susceptible, especially at a certain age. And even more so if you happen to be, black male, we're higher risk. So I got a lot to be thankful for my health, my friends, my family. I'm very grateful. So you all take care of yourselves. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And as always,